Yeah, so just before we went to the break, I just said, my wife had an interesting suggestion. She says, in all these places, particularly like we've been hearing in Gurgaon, in Delhi, all these women getting raped, Nirbhaya case and all that. She says, why don't you get all the eunuchs? Men get scared like crazy when they come across these these people, and give them police uniforms. Let them wear sari. Okay, they like to cross-dress, transvestites, whatever. They can wear a khaki sari with all the typical policewoman outfit. They'd love to wear it. They'll come with bling all over, and they'll beat the crap out of the guys, or do to the guys what the guys were planning to do to the girls. What do you think about that idea?
I think an even better idea would be dress them up in miniskirts and send them into the clubs.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're going to get the guys hitting on them, and then they will be hitting on the guys.
But
and I think that would
the crime
be awesome.
is happening outside on the streets, So if these 4 women people, they will just walk up and down in company. Some of them can be incredibly tough. And I've heard cases about them. They can, they can deck you with just one blow.
I remember there was a security guard when I was with Channel V who got into a fight with a Hijra. And oh my God, she just beat the living crap out of him. And he was a fairly big Nepali guy.
But he got beat up.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
Bit him, scratched him, kicked him in the nuts.
I think, this is something that my wife feels that we should seriously suggest to the government. After all, these people are viewed as a nuisance. Give them a job.
Absolutely, yeah. Why not?
I
think it's a great idea.
Yeah, give them a job. Let them, give them an official standing. Recruit them. Not moral policing, but they are there to go into an area with them. Even if a man policeman chases these guys into a ladies' toilet, for example, they can't go in. These guys will go anywhere. Men's toilet, ladies' toilet, anywhere. Just drag them out and finish them off.
I think it's a great idea. But while we're talking about policing, I think that's one of the things that needs to change. In fact, one of the biggest surprises to me is that now I don't drink alcohol, so I'm never driving drunk. But I get stopped every night when I'm going home, because I'm usually going home at 12, 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's when, and it's a bit annoying to have to get stopped 5 times between one part of town and the other, especially if I'm going across town. And the other day I was driving out of my house, and it was right in Adyar, and usually, the cops are just very like, that whole thing. Yeah. And this time, this guy, he knocked on my window. I put my window down, and he said, "Good evening, sir. Sorry for the bother, but could you just please..."
Yeah, say hello to me.
And I'm just looking at him like, what? And he's like, "Sir, could you..." And I'm like, no, I'm just... Please, thank you, and sorry, all in the same sentence. And you know how good that makes me feel? As a citizen of this country, it makes me feel like we've actually taken a step forward. But then on the way back, I got the usual hey, pongo, And I think that the police really need to start to understand that, that they're there for our protection.
Yeah.
They're not there to be a nuisance to us. You can't treat everyone like a criminal.
But isn't that a lack of leadership? I mean, some senior...
It's a lack of awareness, a lack of education, a lack of leadership, a lack of socioeconomic standing. It's a lack of everything.
I mean, the salaries that they're paid apparently are very low, so they allow them to take money.
But here's the thing. I mean, this is an argument that I've heard so many times when we talk about the police. But the truth of the matter is that every police officer everywhere in the world is underpaid. Yeah, they're not paid on par with. They're not even paid minimum wage ultimately. So really, to say, well, that's our excuse, I think is a bad one.
Maybe they don't have the self-respect that a cop abroad
has. They don't have the self-respect.
Good uniform, a decent place to stay. The kids can go to a good school. Maybe that's...
But here's the other thing. I also think that it has something to do with the fact that we in India, I don't know where this mindset comes from, but if you give anyone a little bit of power, they will abuse it.
Yeah,
that's the norm.
Well, that's universal, I guess, in many ways.
But all the way down to like your parking attendant guy. Yeah, your parking attendant guy. Have you ever noticed that when you park your car and you get out and you start to walk away, and then he'll come back and he'll say, no, you need to move your car, and it'll be 1 inch.
Yeah, I know.
It's just 1 inch or 2 inches. Yeah. But that's his way of saying, man, I'm the boss.
I'm the boss. Yeah.
And so we just. And it keeps going.
So if it starts at that level, it'll go right up to the top. So everybody will be doing it.
So that's really the problem.
So how successful is your women's training?
Well, so far, I mean, there's been mixed responses. On a corporate level, it's been very successful because we have a lot of corporates that ask us to come in and do these workshops and seminars and things like that. But the thing is that I also do one on Sunday evening, every Sunday, afternoon at 3:30, which is free. And any woman can come in and learn some stuff, And if they want to learn some more stuff, they can come back. And if they don't have to. It's entirely up to them because it's free. And I found that the free one is kind of weird because I don't know what the logic is, but I have about 6 or 7 girls that come in on a regular basis, and then here and there we'll have 1 girl, 2 girls. But yeah, the free one doesn't do. I have more paid students for my everyday classes than I do free students on Sunday, which I think is kind of odd.
Yeah.
And I think it also comes from the fact that a lot of women. I actually had someone say, "Do you think maybe Carrie does this to meet chicks?" And I'm like, no, I'm in the entertainment industry. I meet chicks every day. I don't need to teach martial arts for free. That's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Okay, what about these new things like these apps that are coming on the phones, which tracks your position 24 hours a day? You hit any number and it sends an alarm to your nearest and the cop station, this one, that one. Do we need to make all these mandatory now with women?
Well, I've never been a fan of that entire process. I mean, if it's something that can get you attention right now, this second, awesome. But for that, you could just scream. Yeah.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
It keeps a record,
which
so
is
you can prove
true.
that later on.
But so here's the problem. This is like like a friend of mine said, I don't need self-defense classes because I have influence, and if anyone touches me, I'll kill them. I was like, yeah,
but that's post.
But that's post,
Yeah.
right? I will kick the living shit out of you now, and if I'm really worried that I might get into trouble, I'll just kill you, man.
Kill you, yeah.
It's easier. Then you don't get to make that phone call.
Yeah.
So I think apps that can get attention right now, that makes sense. But I mean, this is something that I would like to tell women, though, because a lot of women don't know this. And that is that if you are attacked, do not shout help. Because for whatever reason, help has turned into the equivalent of honking. Yeah, we don't even pay attention when people honk anymore. What you want to do is you want to shout fire.
Fire.
You shout fire. Okay, because fire, everyone is selfish, and now we're worried about what's on fire. How do I get out? I will pay attention to someone shouting fire.
The attacker might think his bike's on fire or his pants are on fire.
So if you shout fire, people pay attention. When you shout help, no one does. So that's usually, the only time that you shouldn't shout fire is if a guy's pointing a gun at you.
Women in the West have all these little pepper sprays. I don't know, that's all rubbish.
Pepper spray. Again, this is something that I've demonstrated in my classes so many times. I give a girl a can of pepper spray and I put it in her bag, shake her bag around, give it to her. And I go, okay, so I'm going to jog 30 feet up to you, and your job is to take the pepper spray out and spray me in the face. And if you can actually get it out and spray me, just go for it. I'm like, don't even worry about it, go for it. And I've done that demonstration about 25, 30 times. No one's ever sprayed me in the face.
But what are you really giving them? A can of Axe?
No. It actually is. No. It actually is pepper spray.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to cheat. In fact, one girl said, "Bullshit! I know it's not pepper spray." And I was like, I sprayed it on my hand. And I was like, "Smell it." And she went close and her eyes already started to tear up because of the smell on my hands. And I washed my hands and I was like, I'll let you spray me in the face if you can get it out before I can walk 30 feet. And no one has. Because, this is the logic. Why go into your bag and put something in your hand when you could just use your hand? Your hand is always there. You're never going to have to look for it. You're never going to have to find it, And I think the other problem is lots of guys with like really, really stupid ideas. Someone came up with I will teach women how to put chili powder in someone's face. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then when I actually questioned him on it, because he's an eminent martial artist in the city, and I questioned him and I was like, what's the logic? Like, I'll show you how to defend chili powder in the face. You do this. Okay? He said to me, no, they're not going to throw it. They're going to put it on their fingers and rub it in your eye. Boy. And I was like, if you can hit my eye, you don't need chili powder. You just rub your finger in my eye, okay, and I'm done, man. Like, you're going to graze my cornea, you're going to cut me up, and it's done. You don't need the chili powder. If you can hit this,
it's all over.
You don't need chili powder,
All right, folks, so you heard it from Gary. He's into also, we never did talk about his comedy routine and being a VJ and all that. We'll do that. But this women's empowerment and keeping women safe in our streets was more interesting to talk about. And I like that entire thing about shout fire, yell fire. Don't say help, rapist. Nobody will laugh at you and just walk on and say, oh, I can't recognize a rapist. But fire will really alert them. So thanks, Gary, for coming over.
Thank you, Mother. Thanks for having me.
Let's hope we get a lot more students to come up and learn stuff from you.
Let's hope so. Thank you.